I will be your God, and you shall be my people. These words of God appear many times throughout the scriptures to express God's passionate desire for communion with humanity. God will not let go of this desire, but will instead continue to send this message to us through prophet after prophet until our eyes are opened and our ears are also opened for us to see and hear, and our tongues are loosened and we are able to respond to God freely and say, "Yes, you are our God, and we are your people who are ready to obey you in whatever you say to us." This is surely not a process that can be accomplished in an instant or overnight, but one that requires a lot of soul searching on our part, and it requires a spirit of humility and an honest acknowledgement of where we are on this journey towards our restoration as the beloved of God. The prophet Jeremiah speaks of a new covenant with God that replaces the old one, in which God purifies us by writing His law within our hearts. The prophet Ezekiel expresses the same reality when he speaks of God sprinkling clean water on us, thus making us clean from all that has defiled us, and taking away from us the stubborn heart of stone, and giving us a new heart and a new mind, putting His Spirit in us to enable us to follow God's law. Thus we move away from a situation that the prophet Jeremiah compares to a shrub that is planted in the desert, in the parched places of the wilderness, or in an uninhabited soiled land, and is therefore unable to produce fruit. To one that he compares to a tree that is planted by water, and is able to send out its roots by the stream, and he is not anxious even during times when there is heat or drought, but continues to bear fruit even under these conditions. The prophet Ezekiel's vision of the dry bones that are eventually brought back to life through the Spirit of God that is breathed into them reflects this restoration that comes from heeding and obeying the word of God and returning to God. His vision of the water that flows from the renewed temple and eventually becomes a river that gives life to the trees on its banks and the animals and fish that live in it, also helps one to deepen one's reflection on the new life that comes about when God is at the center of our lives. The trees on the bank of the river are said to be providing fruit, and their leaves never wither, and they never stop bearing fruit because they are watered by the stream that flows from the temple. This is what the three exercises of the Lenten season are meant to accomplish in us. It is, however, not a merely me and God kind of spirituality, but one in which the fruits of our Lenten exercises are reflected in our relationships with other people and the whole of creation. And thus, eventually, the words of God are accomplished, or rather his invitation to us when he says, I will be your God and you shall be my people. And we respond to him with humility and commit ourselves to this journey and answer in response, yes, you will be our God and we shall be your people.